The internet has seen plenty of hip-hop debates over the years, but every now and then a situation appears that instantly grabs everyone's attention. This time, it all started with a few comments that quickly turned into a full-blown online storm involving Boosie Badazz, T.I., and T.I.'s son King Harris. Fans were scrolling through social media like usual when clips began circulating of Boosie speaking openly during a conversation that suddenly shifted toward T.I.'s son. At first, many people assumed it was just another opinion being shared on the internet, the kind of thing that comes and goes every day. But within minutes, viewers realized that what was said might not sit well with T.I. at all. Screenshots began spreading across platforms. Commentary pages started reposting the clip. And suddenly, thousands of people were debating whether the remarks had crossed a line. The comments quickly became a trending topic, not only because of who said them, but also because of who they involved. The conversation had shifted toward King Harris, a young artist who has already been making headlines online in recent months. King Harris is not just the son of a famous rapper. He is someone who has been trying to create his own identity, while growing up in front of millions of people watching every move. That alone can bring a lot of pressure. In recent weeks, his name had already been circulating across social media, due to several viral moments. Some of those moments involved heated arguments during live streams, while others showed him responding directly to critics who questioned his lifestyle and attitude. So when Boosie mentioned him during his comments, people immediately understood why the situation could become controversial. Hip-hop has always had a culture where artists speak freely about what they think. But when family members become part of the discussion, emotions can escalate quickly. As the clip continued spreading, fans replayed the moment again and again, trying to interpret the tone of Boosie's words. Some viewers believed he was simply sharing an opinion about a public situation. Others felt he had gone too far by bringing someone's son into the conversation. It didn't take long before people started wondering how T.I. would respond. Anyone who has followed T.I.'s career knows that he takes family very seriously. Over the years, he has often spoken about the importance of protecting his children and guiding them through the challenges of growing up in the spotlight. He has never been the type of person to stay silent when he feels his family is being disrespected. Because of that, the internet quickly began predicting that a response might be coming. While fans waited, the discussion online kept growing louder. Some people defended Boosie, arguing that hip-hop has always been built on honest opinions and open conversations. They said he was simply reacting to what he had seen online and expressing his perspective. Others strongly disagreed. They believed the comments felt unnecessary and disrespectful, especially because they involve someone else's child. In their view, there is a difference between discussing public behavior and directly targeting a young person connected to another artist. Then the moment everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. T.I. responded, and when he did, his message carried the tone of a father who was clearly paying attention to what had been said. His reaction didn't sound playful or casual. Instead, it sounded direct and protective, the kind of response that made it clear he felt the comments had crossed a boundary. Within minutes of his words appearing online, the situation escalated from a simple comment into a full-scale debate about respect, parenting, and the limits of public criticism. Fans quickly began analyzing T.I.'s response. Some people praised him for standing up for his son, arguing that any father would react the same way if another public figure started commenting on their child. Others believed the situation might have been blown out of proportion, suggesting that Boosie may not have intended his words to create such a reaction. But once the internet gets involved, intentions rarely matter as much as perception. As both names continued trending, many fans began reflecting on the complicated relationship between celebrity parents and their children. Growing up as the child of a famous artist means living under constant observation. Every mistake becomes public. Every argument becomes content for blogs and reaction channels. And every response can trigger another wave of criticism. For someone like King Harris, who is still figuring out his identity and career path, that environment can be overwhelming. Over the past few months, he has experienced several viral moments that sparked conversations online. In some videos, he appeared frustrated with critics who questioned his lifestyle, while in others he defended himself against people who accused him of trying too hard to appear tough. Supporters argued that he was simply reacting to constant online attacks. Critics believed he sometimes created unnecessary drama by responding publicly. But regardless of which side people supported, one thing became clear. The spotlight on him had grown intense. Every new clip or comment seemed to generate another wave of reactions. And now, with Boosie's comments and T.I.'s response entering the conversation, the situation had reached an entirely new level of attention. Interestingly, many fans also began discussing the history between Boosie Badazz and T.I. Both artists have spent decades navigating the hip-hop world, and both have often spoken about similar topics such as street culture, personal responsibility, and the challenges of fame. In many ways, they share overlapping experiences within the industry. That is why some fans were surprised to see tension appear between them. As the discussion continued spreading across social media, people began wondering whether the disagreement could grow into something much bigger. In hip-hop, even a small comment can quickly turn into a major storyline. The genre has a long history of rivalries that started with a single remark, a misunderstood statement, or a heated reaction online. Because of that history, some viewers immediately started speculating that this situation might evolve into a larger conflict if the people involved continued responding publicly. At the same time, not everyone believed the tension would escalate that far. A large number of fans pointed out that disagreements between artists happen regularly in the entertainment industry. Sometimes emotions run high in the moment, especially when conversations unfold publicly on social media. However, many of these situations eventually cool down once the initial reactions pass. Behind the scenes, artists often talk things through privately, clarify misunderstandings, or simply decide to move forward without turning the issue into a long-term feud. Some fans even suggested that the internet itself tends to amplify these situations more than the people involved might intend. Online platforms can transform a brief exchange into a trending topic within minutes, encouraging constant speculation and commentary. As thousands of users share opinions, repost clips, and analyze every detail, a relatively small disagreement can start to look much bigger than it actually is. Still, the story took another interesting turn when attention shifted back to King Harris. Many fans began asking the same question. Would he decide to respond personally? Because King has built a reputation for being outspoken and active on social media, viewers felt there was a strong possibility he might eventually address the situation himself. That expectation only added more curiosity to the conversation. Some people believed he might clear things up quickly with a direct statement. Others wondered if his response could introduce new details, or even add another layer to the story. Until that moment happens, however, fans can only speculate. If he does respond, his words could either calm the conversation or escalate it even further. As hours passed, people continued refreshing their feeds, waiting to see what might happen next. Some believed King might defend himself and confront the criticism head-on. Others thought he might remain silent out of respect for his father handling the situation. The uncertainty kept the internet engaged, with thousands of users sharing predictions about what the next chapter might look like. Meanwhile, the debate expanded into something much larger than the original comments. Discussions began appearing about parenting in the public eye, generational differences in hip-hop culture, and how young artists navigate fame differently from older legends. Some fans argued that older artists sometimes misunderstand the environment younger generations grow up in, especially when social media plays such a huge role in shaping public perception. Others pointed out that the pressures faced by celebrity children can be unique. They grow up surrounded by wealth and opportunity, but they also face constant comparisons to their famous parents. Every decision they make can be judged by people who have never met them, making it difficult to form a normal identity. Throughout all these conversations, one thing remained certain. The situation had captured the internet's full attention. What began as a few comments during a conversation had transformed into a much larger debate involving respect, family loyalty,